All right, so in this next video here, we're going to talk about our dimensions and starting off dimensioning here. On my drawing here, by the end of this video, we should have all of these dimensions on here that you see right now. If I go to my layout view, you can see those different dimensions on here too, or in our paper space. Okay, so looking at our drawing here, we'll talk about some here first here. This square around here is a basic dimension, so basic mechanical engineering drawing dimension. These will be limit dimensions that you see without a square going around them. This here, okay, these rectangles, these are feature control frames. This stands for diameter or center point, diameter of that material. And then A, B, and C. A represents what is our section view going across. B is going to represent the spline up here. And then A is section view, and then C is over here representing this outside of this circle, this mechanical part right here. Then these right here, so these are actually called, these are limit dimensions right here, and then feature control frames, along with our drop down here of the A, B, and C. Okay, so back on to our drawing. So I'm going to go on to this drawing right here. I'm going to start over here on the left side. So over here on the left side, we'll start here. And we're going to start with our limit dimensions. So I know on my drawing here that I want this right here. So this is what we're going to start with here, this limit dimension of 1.205 to 1.20. So to start with that here, I know that that is a diameter dimension, and it's going to be a mech limit. So mech limit on my dimensions layer and diameter. Okay, once I'm on my diameter here, I'm going to select that internal, if you're looking at your drawing here, this internal part here, and drag it down to the left here. Then I would double check and make sure you're going to use your properties a ton in this exercise here. I would have my properties linked on that side of the screen. If your properties are not linked on the side of your screen, again, PROP, okay, open your properties up here, and then you can toggle them on and off here. You can drag them out if I wanted to. For example, here I can hide them. I can bring them back here. I could drag them out here. But fool around with that here. I'm going to allow docking. I don't want to hide it, and I want it docked here on the side of my screen. So I'm going to have mine docked here, just to make things simpler. Then here I click on my dimension here. Okay, first off here, I want to get rid of that center mark. Okay, so that center mark here, under lines and arrows, I'm going to say none. Okay, that gets rid of that center mark because I already have a center mark going across there. Then I'm going to close this here. So I like to close these just to see things a bit better. I'm going to go down to tolerances. Tolerance display. We're going to go to limits. Okay, then down here, I want a precision. And this is going to be 0.00, 3 decimal points. Then tolerance position. Okay, it's going to be, I won't worry about that here, but the upper, okay, the upper is going to be a 0.05 difference. So 0.05 and enter. And you can see, oh, it should be 0.005, sorry. 0.005, enter. You'll see what that does there. Now that upper limit has been adjusted, okay, for our engineers that will be designing this part here. Then, okay, so this is how you're going to create this upper limit dimension. You got a couple more on here too, so pay attention to this here. I would go through and do these right now. So you can go through and do this upper limit dimension for your diameter. You could also do our upper limit dimension. And we got one more somewhere, I believe. Maybe I'm incorrect. I'm just not seeing it right now. Okay, so you got those two that I would go through and do right now. Then next here, I'm going to go through and we'll talk about our feature control frames. This is pretty easy here, but there's a ton of these on this drawing here. So under dimensions here, I'm on my annotate tab, dimensions. I'm going down to my feature control frame here. This here, okay, I'm going to start with my symbol for this one here. That symbol is our perpendicular symbol. So you can go right here, and this here is my perpendicular symbol. Tolerance, I do not have a tolerance for diameter, and then it's going to be 0.010. So 0.010, And then next over here, the last thing here, there's no second tolerance on there. The last thing is going to be our datum, and the datum 1 is going to be A. And you can click OK and see what this looks like, and it should match up what you see on your paper, and you just want to align it to where you see it right there. And let's make sure that this here, I go over to my Home tab, and I'm going to be on my Dimensions layer, and I'm going to make that current right now. But that's what that should look like. Again, you can just move this around, M for move, and I can move this around to where it should sit nice and neatly along with that, the edge of that drawing right there, edge of that dimension. Cool. Last thing here, we're going to talk about our drop down with our arrow here. So this, all right, so I have a B right there. So this here is going to be under, I'm going to go back to annotate here. I'm going to go to multi-leader, and I'm actually selected my datum. These are datums here. So datum, multi-leader. Okay, then I'm going to come down here, and I want to click on the center point here and drag this down, make sure I get my arrow. And then in the center there, you're going to say B. Okay, when this is vertical like this here. Notice here it doesn't quite line up, so what you have to do here is I'm going to explode this here. So X for explode. I'm going to select just my box, and I'm going to select this here. So I'm going to move these, and I'm going to move it to the bottom of that right there. And so line that up nice and neatly like that. And then looks like I could potentially make this smaller. So I'm going to make this smaller just to make it a little bit neater right there. Bring this up here because I'm going to copy this across my different datums here. So I have an A datum, so I'm going to take this all here and CO for copy. And then I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to turn off my ortho mode here, and I'm moving down here to the bottom. And it looks like on my drawing here, it's going to go right about here. And you can see it's already going to click on my nearest because I have my nearest on right now. If you want to click turn your nearest on, you can turn your nearest on under ortho mode. And then so right down here, this is going to be right there. Okay, and then I can change the, I guess we'll just change this now here since I'm already here. And then this is going to be changed to A. I like to use my arrow keys when I'm moving around those. And I'm a CO, I'm going to copy this again, CO, and I'm going to go up top. And this one is going to come up to our, I'm just going to drag this right here right now because I don't have my other feature control frame there yet. So I'll have to move this here in a few minutes. But this one will be C. Okay, again, those are the feature control frames. You can see on here I just did A, B, and C. I got C over here, I got A right here, and I got B right here. Hey, then, well, those are my datums. Then next here, one thing that was difficult for me here was the diameter between here, these two distances here, or the distance, I should say. So I'm going to do what here, I'm going to go to an aligned dimension, create an aligned dimension. And I'm going to select this middle point here. Okay, then I'm going to go shift right click, and I'm going to go to perpendicular, and I'll get my dimension right there. Okay, and I want to change that. So this here, move down here a bit, and double click on here. And this one should say, if you're looking at your paper, again, use your arrow keys, go to the front. This is 9x, 9 times 0.5. Cool. And then let's focus on, talked about our feature control frames, talked about our limit dimensions. Let's make sure we add on a few other dimensions here. So my basic dimension here going across, I'm going to do aligned. Okay, you want to make sure that these stay aligned here. So I'm going from here, looking at my drawing, and I'm going over to this point right here. And let's make sure that that doesn't go like that because I don't want it aligned. I want it linear. There we go. And then right here again, right here, bring it out like so. That looks good. Okay, then next one here, to make it aligned here, linear, and I want to make sure I click on the right spot to zoom into it, and then coming up here to right here. And then I can click right in here and it locks it in. Okay. And again, these are basic dimensions because they have a square around them. Okay, in our next video up here, we'll talk about some surface control frames, if you're curious what these are right here. So that's on our surface finishes right there. I also have, let's see, anything else I want to talk about? Do the angle. We'll do one more radius or angular dimension on here. So this will be our center point here. Actually, go to diameter. So I'm going to do a diameter of this here. I'm going to do a diameter of this center circle. So you can see what happens here. So diameter, bring it out, and it comes up to here on my drawing. Now, one thing on this here, I want to make sure I come into my properties, and you'll have to do this a couple different times here, but I want to change my lines and arrows. I want to get rid of, let me double check. On center mark here, I don't want the line, I want none. Okay, just to clean that up, because when I go here, so let's look at this here. If I zoom in on my paper space here, looks nice and clean right now. Okay, in general, might have to get rid of a line here in the center here in a few minutes. But if I go here and if I click on that again here, and I go and I click turn this on, so I do mark or I do line on there, and then I have a line, and I go back here. Looks kind of dirty. I don't like how that looks there. So then I can come back here to model, and I want to turn that center line off there, get rid of that just to clean it up a bit. And cool. All right. Last thing here, we're going to go over to our paper space again here, and we're going to dimension this out here. So I'll go over our feature control frame again and our limits. So on this here, I'm going to start with a linear dimension. Okay, linear dimension. And I'm going to come down here to this part, and I want to click on this center point here, this center point here, bring that a little bit above here. Okay, and let's make sure I'm going to change this from my basic to my limit. And then I'm going to drag this over to the side, like so. Okay, then on here, on my tolerances, on my properties here, on my tolerance display, I want limits. Okay, under here, I want precision to be 0.000. And you'll notice this one's the difference between 0.233 and 0.235. So the upper limit is going to be 0.002. And let's make sure that looks correct. And you can see here, I've escaped 0.0235 and 0.233. And then I'll add again here, I'll add my feature control frame on here. Okay, this here, this is sort of a diameter, tolerance of 0.001. And then our A, B, and C for our datums here. A, B, and C for the datums. Go across, click OK. And then I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to put this right here for now. So I'll move this over so I can scoot this over to the right here just to clean it up a bit. And I'm going to turn off that snap there and just go over a tiny bit more if I can. It's not going to let me, so I can move this over. Nope, let's not move everything. Move this over a tiny bit. I could also move my circle around too, but I'll put it right there. Right there is good enough. And then I'm going to do my angle. Okay, so this here, let's do an angular dimension. And when you click on this here, you don't see it, but you click on the two lines and then it just pops down like that. And let's make sure that's our limits too. So this here, go back to limits. And then lastly here, I'm going to add a multi-leader. So on the side here, escape, and I don't want a datum, I want a mechanical or mech multi-leader. And I'm going to click on shift right click. I'm going to do nearest. Where's nearest at? Nearest here. And go right there, drag it out. And then this here is going to be all surface splines. And we'll talk about those surface finishes in one of the videos coming up. All spline surfaces. All right, this will take a little bit of time here. So again, we just talked about our feature control frames that are down here. Right here, we talked about this angle. We got this angular dimension done. We have our linear dimensions done down here. This is one of our datums right there. We have a diameter up here, and another datum down here. And you have quite a few things on this lower drawing here. So if you can check out this drawing here, you can see I got quite a few things here, and I'm still missing one or two. I got to put another one up here to finish this off here. Another linear dimension over here. A couple things I'm noticing. All right, that's the end of this video.